What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be doing the bad player's guide to speedrunning, because I'm a bad player and I speedrun Minecraft. How can a bad player speedrun Minecraft? How did I, as a bad player, get to the point where I am able to beat Minecraft while speedrunning? Sometimes, kinda. Anyways, today we will find out. So we're gonna go through some starting tips and setting up the game, and in a way that will help you win. Then we're gonna go into looking into finding structures in the world. Stuff like if you've heard of E-ring or Piechart or stuff like that, you'll learn that. Even bad players can do that, don't worry about that. And then after that, we will go and look at how an entire run would look like using different strategies, and throughout that we'll have a bunch of tips and stuff. We'll be looking at three main types of runs: villages, monuments, and standard ocean. Those are the three main runs types that you see today. After that, we'll just look at other structures that people can use, even though they're not essential to run. Stuff like, desert temples, ruined portals, igloos, that kind of stuff, And then we'll just look at some other general tips. But first, let's look at how you set up the game to win. And bam, bed, night. Now it's night, but it's I still see everything bright here. You're gonna be like, wait, why? How? Isn't full bright banned for speedrunning? Yeah, full bright is banned, but what you can do is once you find .minecraft, there's options.txt. Here, there's a bunch of stuff here. What you want to look for is gamma. Where is gamma? There it is. And then you just manually type in 5.0. And that's gonna be kind of like Fulbright, but not really. Fulbright, I think, is gamma 1000. I don't know. But gamma 5 is the maximum you're allowed to use for speedrunning, so that's what we use. If I go in here, then I go into video settings. What is this? This isn't vanilla Minecraft. You're using mods. You're cheating. No. It's a performance mod called sodium, lithium, and phosphor. I don't know which one does the weird UI thing, but you just want to have sodium, lithium, and phosphor. They're free performance increase mods. They give you that cool UI thing. They also make it so your game doesn't lag as much. My game lagged a lot before I used them. I have a bald computer. So those are good mods to have that stop you from lagging. Do not use Optifine. Optifine is not allowed. Don't be an idiot. And if you see in the bottom right corner, you see the subtitles, right? You want to turn those on. So you go into options. I think it's accessibility setting. No, it's music and sound. Since show subtitles, you want that on. Why? Suppose you're digging down looking for lava. You see in the bottom right, lava pops. I can't hear that. It is a very non-audible sound. But it says lava pops there, and it gives you the direction, so you can just dig straight that way. And it helps with a lot of stuff like that. In the stronghold, you can hear silverfish with that. But yeah, subtitles are just all around helpful. You want that on. Do not use 1.16.5. If you use that, you are gonna go into a bastion, and if you for some reason somehow survive the piglin brutes that spawn in that version, they can two-shot you. They're not to be messed with. It's better if you just play in a version that doesn't have them, aka 16.1. But even if you do get past the brutes in 16.5 and the newer versions, you're gonna get no pearls. Pearls are rarer in 1.16.5. You're less likely to get a pearl trade, but each pearl trade is gonna give you half the amount of pearls it would in 1.16.1. So there's no point to using 16.5 when 16.1 is just better overall. Usually before you enter the nether, what you need is 7 iron, because with 7 iron you can get a bucket, which you use to speed portal, then the iron pick, which you use at a bastion to mine gold blocks, and one for flint and steel. So that's it, 7 iron. Then you want to have an axe, a boat. So yeah, that's some starter things before we get into the specifics. Alright, part 1, finding structures. Tip number 1 for finding structures. the pie chart. Use the pie chart. If you press shift and then F3, you see this thing in the bottom right? Yeah, that can help you. So what you need to do with it for it to help you is, you see there's like a list of stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All below the pie chart, right? That's like different things. I don't know how that works. But anyways, the way you use it is you want to press whichever number is thick, where it says thick. You just see whichever number that is, you just press the number in your number key. So in my case, thick is 3, so I just press 3. Then you want level, which is almost always going to be 1, so you just press whichever one is level. Then you want entities, which is in my case is 1. Then you press whichever one is block entities, which is 3 in my case. Then you get this. So now suppose I'm just running around, then I just press this. You see that just says which block entities are rendered in within your render distance. That means I have within my render distance, which is 16 chunks, I have a mob spawner and a chest, which is probably from a mine shaft, doesn't matter. In the overworld, there's always going to be a mob spawner and a chest. But the important thing is we have a bell and a furnace within 16 chunks. What structure generates a bell and a furnace? You guessed it, village. So that means we have a village within 16 chunks of us. And there it is, all the way there, you can see it. Yep, that's the village. Now I have free shift again, yep, you can see bell, furnace. Let's get to the village, right? So this is how you would use F3 shift to find a village. Now that I'm here, there's another thing you can do with F3 shift, which is... Now, you can see that there's a furnace. In desert, plains, and savanna villages, the only structure that has a furnace is a blacksmith. So if you have free shift in one of those villages and you see a furnace, that means there's a blacksmith. There's that. If you don't see a furnace, then there is no blacksmith and you don't have to worry about looking around for one. But then with spruce villages and ice villages, it's different, because in spruce villages, blacksmiths don't have a furnace. They don't have any block that's like unique to them, so you can't really have free shift to check if a spruce village has a blacksmith. And ice villages, there are so many houses in the ice village that have furnaces, it's insane. And I found that out the hard way. In the middle of a run, I had free shifted in an ice village and I was like, oh hey, furnace, there's a blacksmith. There was no blacksmith, there were just like 10 different houses with furnaces. So you can use a free shift to find villages, but you can also use them to find fortresses. This is like where it's the most useful. Okay, there we go, now I have free shift. What you're looking for when you're looking for a fortress is you're looking for a mob spawner. Because the only structures that have mob spawners in the nether are fortresses and treasure bastions. But if you get a treasure bastion, then you get trolled. In this case, you can see there is no spawner in the pie chart. That means there is no fortress within 16 chunks. So then I can just increase my render distance with F3F. If you press F3 and then F, it just increases your render distance by 1. So you just do that until you see a mob spawner. Do I really not have a fortress within 32? Yeah, anyways, am I gonna get a thing? Yep, there it is, mob spawner. So what you can do, another thing you can do is, you might be like, well, sure, there's a fortress within 16 chunks, but I can't see 16 chunks, so then there was just a bunch of walls. What you can do is you use a technique called parrying. It's really easy. So you basically just turn your render distance all the way down to 2, F3 shift, then you just press F3 F until the thing pops up. So it's exactly 16 chunks away. Now you just press Shift F3 F to reduce it all the way down again. Then you go to whatever it told you, -1. 12, 13, 14, 15, so 15 in my case. Then you turn on chunk borders, because it measures it from chunks, right? Then you just go cross the chunk border in each direction until you see it pop up. So you just go like that, it's not this way. Then you go like that, it's this way. So now I know there's a fortress 16 chunks that way. And if we go this way, see, it's not 100% because it only gives you in like the 4 directions. It could be slightly diagonal. So when stuff like this happens, is that it? When you just go a decent distance in the way that I told you, and you still don't see it, you just do the thing again. Really? I went away from it? Oh, we try again. You didn't see that. What you do is you press Shift F3F to turn it all the way down to 2. Shift F3, then F3F. Just increase by 1 each time until... There it is. What I missed if that was 13 or 14. See, you're also supposed to pay more attention and not be an idiot like me. 9, 10, 11, 12... Okay, so it's 13. So now you turn it down a bunch. And then over to 12. Now chunk borders on. Bam. Not that way. This way. Let's fly a bunch this way. And it's a treasure bastion. Yay! Never mind, that's a bridge bastion. That's a bastion from spawn. Whatever, we keep flying this way. Okay, so at this point I'll probably want to do it again here. This way. And there's the fortress. See, sometimes it takes a few tries, because it could be slightly off to the diagonal of where you pick, or you might go slightly off the angle navigating this horrible terrain that the nether has, but... Yeah, that's Pyrane. Now, what if you want to find a bastion? Now, if you want to find a bastion, we just learned Pyrane. Now we're going to learn E-Rane. You can see in the F3 menu at the very bottom, there's an M and a C, which in my case it's 70 and 33. Add those up. Then look up where there's the E. And look at the second number in the bar. If that second number is like about 30 more than the M plus C, then you have a bastion within your render distance. In my case, I don't, because this seed sucks, so I just increase my render distance till, oh, we got an M plus C of 140. No, my C is still going up, never mind. Okay. But my E, look at my E counter. Yeah, I definitely have bastions. So what you do is you turn your FOV down to 30. In video settings, you have to have entity distance 500%. And then entity culling, this needs to be off. I don't care if you're lagging, that needs to be off if you're erasing. Then you just look around. And then if you see the first thing of the E counter spike, that means there's a bastion in that direction. So there's probably a bastion if I go like 20 chunks that way, so I'm gonna do that. Never mind, I think it was just picking up whatever this circus is. It just counts the amount of entities that are in your render distance, and given that it's just spawned that piece of crap in, I'm starting to think it might not have been a bastion. E-Ring is not 100%. Sometimes you get scammed, like I probably seem to have right now. Never mind. According to /locate, if I keep going this way, I will find a bastion. See, E-Ring, perfect, 100% success rate, easy claps. I don't want to hear it. E-Ring is the best. Quadrants in the nether. So each quadrant, it's like a square from 0, 0 to 500, 500. About. It's not exactly that. In each quadrant, you only get one structure. And that structure has 60% chance of being a bastion, 60% chance of being a fortress. So if you're like in an area where your X is positive and your Z is negative. So suppose I'm in this area. This is the negative quadrant. If you find a fortress right here, don't bother searching for your bastion in this side of the map. Just go to a different quadrant. Go to like here where it's negative, where it's positive negative. This is where you're gonna find the other structure, or positive positive. You're always gonna get one structure, but only one structure in each of those quadrants. The one exception is bastions aren't gonna spawn in basalt deltas, and if a bastion tries to spawn in a basalt delta, it will just not spawn. Now let's look at how an actual run would look like. Now that we know how to find structures, we're gonna learn how to use those structures in the context of an actual run. Yeet!
Yeet.
Yeet! Yeet! Yeet!
Yeet.